Morning in the village. The first light of dawn spills softly over the thatched roofs of the village. Mist rises from the fields and the dirt paths, curling around wooden beams and the edges of small houses. It is quiet, yet the air carries the faint scent of smoke from morning fires, damp earth, and the soft musk of animals. Children wake early here, long before the sun climbs high. There are no cosy beds to linger in, no soft blankets or warm rooms. Instead, they stretch on straw mats, rubbing sleep from their eyes, feeling the cool touch of the morning air on their skin. The day begins, not with leisure, but with responsibility. Some children run to fetch water from the nearby well. The bucket is heavy and the path is uneven, lined with stones slick from dew. They balance the wooden pail on their hip, careful not to spill, careful not to stumble. Every step is a lesson in care, every morning a lesson in endurance. Others hurry to tend the animals. Chickens cluck and scratch, eager for the grain scattered along the dirt. Goats bleat softly, waiting for their milk to be collected. The smell of manure mingles with the scent of earth and smoke, a constant reminder that life is messy, demanding, and real. In small homes, mothers stir the fire, preparing porridge, bread, or whatever simple food the family can spare. The aroma rises, warm and nourishing, a small comfort in the otherwise harsh world. Older children help quietly, stirring, chopping, or sweeping the dirt floors. Even these tasks are lessons, in care, in patience, in contributing to the household. Siblings share space, sleeping and waking together. They whisper to one another in the dim light, sharing small stories, small secrets, and small comfort. There is love here, quiet and enduring, but it is not spoken in grand words. It is shown in the sharing of warmth, the careful handing of a water bucket, the gentle brushing of hair away from a tired sibling's face. Time passes slowly in the early hours. Birds sing from the edge of the forest, and the soft rustle of leaves mixes with the distant sound of cows lowing and horses stamping in their pens. The world is alive, though small and confined to this village. Even the youngest children learn early, to lift, to carry, to listen, to watch. Their bodies grow accustomed to labour, their minds to careful observation. Childhood is not a time of play here, but a preparation, preparing the body, the mind, and the spirit for the life that waits beyond the dawn. And as the sun slowly rises higher, casting longer shadows across the cobblestones and dirt paths, the village awakens fully. Children are already at work. Some carry water, some herd animals, some help feed younger siblings or clean floors. The air is thick with the scent of life, earth, smoke, sweat, and the quiet fragrance of porridge cooking over an open flame. Each smell tells a story. Each step teaches a lesson. And though there is no leisure, no carefree play, there is purpose. The morning stretches slowly, gently, and the children move through it like small ships in a vast sea of responsibility. Every breath, every motion, every tiny effort shapes them. They are small, yet strong. They are young, yet capable. And they will continue as the village depends on them and as the world demands it. Family life. The village hums softly with the sounds of early labour. Inside the small homes, children move quietly, aware that their parents are already busy. The houses are small, built of wood and straw with low ceilings and narrow spaces. Families are large. Often, many siblings share the same bed, lying shoulder to shoulder on thin straw mattresses. There is little privacy, but the closeness brings warmth and security, even in the cold mornings. Mothers stir the fire, hands deft and practiced, preparing porridge, water and bread. The smell of cooking mixes with the scent of smoke, and it drifts gently through the room. Older children help where they can, fetching water, gathering firewood, or tending the youngest siblings. Even the smallest tasks carry meaning. Even a small hand's effort makes a difference. Fathers, if not working in the fields, repair tools, mend fences, or prepare for the day's work. Their hands are rough, their faces lined with fatigue, but they offer guidance and care in quiet, often unspoken ways. Children watch closely, learning not just how to work, but how to survive. Every action, every gesture becomes a lesson. The air inside is warm, but carries the smell of labour. Earth from the garden, straw from bedding, the faint musk of bodies pressed close together. It is the smell of life lived with purpose, and the children learn to recognize it as comfort as much as it is necessity. Conversation is sparse, words are careful, meant to teach, to guide, or to correct. Laughter is quiet, tucked into small corners between tasks. But love exists here. It is in the small touches, a hand on a shoulder, a whispered word of encouragement, a shared piece of bread. It is subtle, yet resilient, and the children grow surrounded by it, even in a world full of work. Siblings share not only beds but duties. The older ones carry the youngest, fetch water, or guide them along tasks too difficult for small hands. They learn early that their own lives are intertwined with the well-being of those around them. Responsibility begins at a young age, and the children carry it lightly at first, but gradually it becomes part of who they are. Meals are simple, but everyone contributes. Sometimes a child gathers herbs from the garden to flavour the soup. Sometimes another fetches eggs or milk. Even the act of helping feed the family becomes a lesson in cooperation and care. Despite the hard work, moments of wonder exist. A small bird may sing outside the window, drawing the attention of children who pause their chores. The light of the morning sun falls across their faces, and for a brief moment the world feels vast and gentle. Yet, the rhythm of life is unrelenting. Tasks pile one upon the other, and children learn to balance, to move carefully, to watch and anticipate. Even play is intertwined with work, mimicking adult chores, learning skills while laughing, imagining the world beyond their small homes. As the morning continues, the village stretches and awakens fully. The children are already part of the larger rhythm, helping, learning, observing, surviving. The scent of straw, smoke, bread and earth follows them as they move through each task. Family life in this era is not easy, but it is full of lessons. Children understand their place, their duties and the quiet ways to offer care. They grow strong in mind, body and spirit, and as the sun climbs higher, they step into the day ready to meet its challenges, carrying the love, discipline and resilience that will guide them through a childhood far different from what we imagine today. Work in the fields. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, the village stirs into motion. Children step outside, barefoot on the cool, uneven dirt paths, and join the adults in the fields. The fields stretch like a green and golden quilt, lined with the soft edges of forests in the distance. The scent of earth, damp and alive, rises into the morning air, mixed with the faint aroma of hay, animals, and the smoke from chimneys. Children carry small baskets of grain, their hands already learning strength and care. They pull weeds from the soil, stretching, bending, and sometimes scraping knees and hands on the rough earth. Each motion teaches patience, precision, and endurance. The sun warms their backs, but sweat quickly follows. Their clothes cling, stained with dirt and effort, yet no complaint is heard. The work is part of life, and they have learned to accept it. Some herd animals along narrow paths, chickens peck at stray grains, goats wander curiously, and cows low softly, following the gentle guidance of the children. Even animals recognize the hands that guide them, and the children learn responsibility and respect in each careful movement. Older siblings supervise the younger, teaching, encouraging, correcting. The fields are not merely a place of labour. They are a classroom, a place where skills are passed down, where knowledge of survival is embroidered into the rhythm of daily life. The wind carries the faint fragrance of herbs, mint and rosemary, growing in the edges of the garden. It mixes with the richer, heavier scents of soil, manure and sun-warmed plants, creating a perfume of life, labour and endurance. Children notice small details that others may overlook. A bird perched on a fence post, a snail slowly moving across a leaf, the way a small stream glistens as it winds through the fields. Even in the midst of work, there is beauty to be found. Mealtimes often come in the field itself, a small loaf of bread shared under the shade of a tree, or a flask of water passed from hand to hand. The children eat quickly, mindful of the tasks yet to come, yet these quiet moments bring laughter, chatter, and a sense of community. Learning continues with every task. A bent stalk of wheat teaches patience. A stubborn bucket of water teaches persistence. A grazing cow teaches observation and care. And the children absorb it all, shaping not only their bodies, but their minds and hearts as well. Evenings bring little rest, for the work of the day is long and tiring. But as the sun lowers, casting long shadows over the fields, children often pause to look at the horizon. The golden light touches the earth, the animals, the soil, and them, and for a moment, the weight of labour is softened by the gentle beauty of the world. In these fields, childhood is not about play or leisure. It is about learning to survive, to help, to endure, and to grow strong. Yet within the labour, small joys linger. Laughter shared, discoveries made, skills learned, and the quiet satisfaction of work well done. As night approaches, the children return home, tired, sun-warmed, and wiser for the day's lessons. They carry with them the scent of the earth, the hum of life, and the knowledge that their hands and minds are part of a larger rhythm, the rhythm of survival, of family, and of a childhood lived differently than we often imagine. Schooling was rare. The morning sun has climbed high, and the village hums with the rhythm of life. Children finish their chores in the fields or around the home, their small hands now calloused and strong. And yet, unlike modern childhoods filled with classrooms and playgrounds, formal learning is rare here. Most children never see a schoolhouse. Their education is practical, woven into daily life rather than delivered through books. They learn by observing their parents, by listening to elders, by imitating the movements and habits of adults. A child sweeping the floor learns order. A child carrying water learns patience. Every task becomes a lesson, every action a form of knowledge. In wealthier households, some children may learn to read or write, often under the guidance of a priest or a private tutor. Even so, their studies are limited, and only a few are privileged enough to enjoy this formal learning. For most, knowledge comes from necessity: how to care for animals, how to cook and mend, how to navigate the world safely. Stories, songs, and oral traditions are the main teachers. Elders recite tales of heroes, myths, and legends, embedding moral lessons and practical wisdom into every word. Children listen intently, wide-eyed, storing these lessons not in paper, but in memory. Through rhythm, repetition, and song, they learn history, ethics, and survival skills. Even the games they play are educational in subtle ways. Tossing stones, racing across fields, or imitating adult chores, children develop coordination, strategy, and social understanding. Play is never entirely separated from life. It prepares them for the demands that will soon fully fall upon their shoulders. The village itself becomes a school. The market teaches negotiation and observation. The barn teaches responsibility and care. The forest edge teaches caution and awareness. Every step, every glance, every interaction carries knowledge. Mistakes are lessons. Spilling water, dropping grain, letting animals wander. These are opportunities to learn, to adapt, to improve. Adults rarely scold harshly. They demonstrate, guide, and allow the child to absorb the wisdom through repetition. Even in rare moments of leisure, education continues. A quiet walk through the fields teaches observation. A whispered story beside the hearth teaches history. A song while tending animals teaches rhythm, memory, and community. The child's mind is always learning, always absorbing, even when it seems they are merely playing or helping. The air in the village carries the sense of this ongoing education. Damp earth, hay, wood smoke, and the faint aroma of herbs blended together with the warmth of bodies moving, listening, and working together. By the end of the day, the children have absorbed more than lessons in reading or writing. They understand the patterns of life, the behaviours of people, the subtle art of surviving, helping, and contributing. Their education is not formal, but it is deep, practical, and enduring. As night begins to fall and the firelight flickers through the small windows, children rest with minds full of what they have learned: stories, skills, observations, and lessons that will shape their future. Their classroom is the village itself, and the lessons they carry will last a lifetime. Play between work. Even in a world dominated by chores and responsibility, children find small moments of play. It is never long, never carefree like modern childhoods. But in those brief pauses, laughter rises softly, like sunlight breaking through morning mist. In the fields, after buckets of water are carried and animals tended, a group of children may gather for a simple game. They toss stones at each other, or mark lines in the dirt and race barefoot along the uneven paths. The stones clatter against rocks, laughter echoes across the hills, and for a few precious minutes the burdens of responsibility lighten. They fashion dolls from scraps of cloth, string, and straw. A bundle of rags becomes a tiny companion. A stick transforms into a horse galloping across the fields. Even in this harsh world, imagination thrives. The children create, invent, and explore, blending work and play seamlessly. Some mimic the adults around them. They pretend to sweep floors, herd animals, or carry buckets just like their parents do. At first, it is clumsy, awkward, full of giggles and mistakes, but gradually the imitation teaches skill, strength, and coordination. Play becomes a quiet rehearsal for life, a rehearsal where the stakes are small, yet lessons are significant. In shaded corners they whisper secrets and stories. One child may recite a tale told by an elder, while others listen with rapt attention, eyes wide and hearts racing with wonder. These stories pass knowledge, history, and morality quietly, sneaking into the child's mind while the body rests. Sometimes games are competitive. Children test strength, speed, or cleverness. A race across the field, a contest to balance on a fence, a challenge to see who can carry the heaviest bundle, all are ways to measure courage, endurance, and skill. Even in fun, life lessons are learned. Music and song weave into play. A lullaby hummed while skipping stones, a rhythm tapped on a wooden fence, or a spontaneous chant echoing through the village alleys. These sounds lighten the heart, provide relief, and nurture imagination. Through them, children learn the rhythm of life, the flow of community, and the joy that exists amid toil. Play is also a sanctuary. It offers laughter after hard work, a brief escape from chores and labour. It reminds children that even a life full of responsibility has moments of lightness. The fields, the forests, the village paths, all become a playground for minds and bodies alike. Despite its simplicity, play is vital. It teaches cooperation, problem-solving, observation, and empathy. It strengthens friendships and bonds siblings together. It allows children to express themselves safely, and it preserves a piece of joy in a life otherwise filled with work. As the sun begins its descent, the games end. Buckets must be carried, animals herded, and small chores completed before nightfall. Laughter fades softly, leaving only the gentle hum of the village. Yet the memory of play lingers in the children's hearts, a small light against the demands of daily life. And so, as evening settles and the sky turns gold and purple, children carry with them the lessons, the work, and the joy of the day. Play has taught them resilience, skill, and imagination, and these lessons will serve them well as they navigate a childhood that is both harsh and extraordinary. Illness and danger. As the village settles into the rhythm of day, a quieter, more ominous presence lingers in the air. Illness and danger. Childhood here is not safe. The world is full of unseen threats, and every step carries risk. Every breath may bring a challenge. Children are small, yet they navigate a landscape filled with hazards. The rivers may carry diseases, wells may harbour bacteria, and food can spoil in the heat. Even a simple scrape while running, or a small cut from chores can become dangerous without proper care. Medicine is scarce and knowledge is limited. The village healer, if there is one, relies on herbs, prayers, and experience rather than science. Illness moves silently through the community. Fever, infections, and plagues visit homes unpredictably. Children may see friends or siblings fall sick. Some recover, some do not. It is a harsh reality, yet it is one they learn to accept, to endure, and to understand. The daily chores themselves carry risk. Fetching water from a slippery riverbank, tending animals with sharp hooves or horns, lifting heavy baskets, or climbing to reach fruits, each act requires careful attention. The children learn to move with caution, to observe, and to anticipate. The very act of survival becomes a form of education, shaping their bodies, their instincts, and their minds. Danger is not only physical. The village may face wild animals wandering from nearby forests, thieves passing through, or disputes among neighbours. Children learn to listen to the warnings of elders, to stay close to the paths they know, to recognise threats before they arrive. These lessons are subtle, absorbed quietly, yet they save lives. Yet even in danger there is resilience. The children grow strong and alert, aware of their surroundings, and capable of acting swiftly when needed. They develop courage not in grand gestures, but in daily persistence, tending to tasks despite exhaustion, moving carefully over rough ground, helping siblings safely through the world. Life here teaches that comfort is fleeting, and safety must be earned, not assumed, and still, amid sickness, accidents, and the constant potential for harm, children laugh. They find joy in small victories, in successful chores, in fleeting moments of play, in the warmth of family and community. These moments of lightness remind them that the world, while harsh, is also alive and beautiful. Parents are vigilant. They watch over children while tending their own work, balancing protection with the lessons of responsibility. Even the youngest learn to care for themselves and others, to recognize danger, and to act with thought and care. As evening approaches and the air cools, the village settles into quiet. Children rest with bodies tired but minds enriched. The lessons of illness and danger remain present in their awareness, yet they do not steal the hope, imagination, or joy that survives in fleeting moments. In this way, the children of the past grow wise beyond their years. They learn the delicate balance between risk and care, survival and enjoyment, work and play. And as they close their eyes to sleep, the scent of herbs, smoke, and evening earth fills their rooms, a reminder that the world is both harsh and nurturing, and that even in danger, life persists. Apprenticeships. As children grow older, the rhythm of life shifts. Their small hands, once tasked with simple chores, are now capable of more intricate labour. Around the age when childhood begins to wane, many children leave home for apprenticeships. They travel to workshops, bakeries, blacksmiths, or weavers' stalls, carrying with them the skills they have learned and the hopes of their families. Apprenticeships are both an opportunity and a challenge. The world beyond the home is vast and unfamiliar. The workshop is alive with noise, the clanging of hammers, the hiss of water on heated metal, the rhythmic shuttle of looms, the crackle of the oven. Children must learn quickly, observing carefully and practicing endlessly. Their days are long. Tasks repeat in a cycle of labour: kneading dough, mixing dye, sharpening tools, cleaning floors, carrying heavy loads. Mistakes are met with correction, sometimes sharp, sometimes gentle, but always meant to teach. The children's small bodies grow stronger, their minds more precise, and their spirits more resilient. The master craftsman is both guide and guardian. He demonstrates the skill first, then allows the apprentice to try. Success brings praise, mistakes bring lessons. Through this rhythm, the child learns more than trade. They learn patience, discipline, and the quiet satisfaction of mastery. Living away from home is another form of education. Children learn independence, navigating the workshop, the town, and the relationships with other apprentices. Friendships form, rivalries appear, and the small social world of childhood expands into a wider reality. Through these interactions, they learn empathy, negotiation, and cooperation. Even in the midst of hard work, moments of curiosity persist. A child may watch the blacksmith shape molten metal with fascination, or marvel at how a baker's yeast transforms dough into golden bread. Imagination and wonder remain, quietly nurturing the spirit as labour shapes the body. Apprenticeships also teach the value of contribution. Every small task, however menial, supports the larger craft. Every careful stitch, every scoop of flour, every swing of the hammer is part of a greater whole. Children learn that effort matters, that diligence has purpose, and that even small hands can make a difference. Challenges are constant. Long hours, strict rules, and physical fatigue test their endurance. Yet, in overcoming these challenges, the children gain confidence, skill, and a sense of accomplishment that cannot be taught through words alone. At the end of the day, apprentices return to modest rooms, sometimes shared with others. They rest with aching muscles, but also with the quiet pride of having learned something new, of having contributed, of having grown. Through apprenticeship, childhood blends with adulthood. It is a time of transformation, where lessons learned at home evolve into expertise and independence. And yet, even in this demanding phase, the spark of youth remains. Curiosity, wonder, and the small joys that sustain the heart amidst labour. As night falls and the stars appear above the village, the apprentice closes their eyes, dreaming not of toys or games, but of mastery, growth, and the future they are quietly shaping with each careful, deliberate action. Festivals and faith. Even in a life filled with work and responsibility, moments of celebration and faith bring light to childhood. Festivals are rare, but when they arrive, they transform the village into a world of wonder. Children wake early, not to chores, but to the soft sounds of bells echoing through the town. The scent of fresh bread, roasted meats, and herbs fills the air. Colourful ribbons flutter on doors and posts, and the usually muted village streets hum with excitement and anticipation. Religious ceremonies offer another kind of ritual, a quiet rhythm that structures life. Candles flicker in the small chapels, incense drifts gently, and the children listen to chants that rise and fall like a gentle tide. Even if they do not fully understand the words, they feel their meaning in the rhythm, the melody, and the reverence of the community. Festivals are times for laughter, storytelling and games. Children chase one another through the streets, their bare feet pounding against dirt paths. They play simple games, sometimes racing, sometimes imitating the adults who parade through town in celebration. The smell of smoke from fires, of sweet pastries, and of freshly cut flowers mixes in the air, enchanting the senses and lifting spirits. Music is everywhere. Flutes, drums, and stringed instruments create a lively, warm rhythm that guides both young and old. Children learn the songs quickly, repeating melodies in chorus with siblings and friends. Even in their small voices there is joy, connection, and a sense of belonging. Faith too is interwoven with these moments. Prayers, blessings, and quiet reflection teach children about the rhythms of life, the importance of gratitude, and the presence of something larger than themselves. Through both festivals and faith, they understand that life is not only labour and hardship, it is also celebration, reflection, and connection. The village becomes a stage for wonder. Market stalls overflow with fruits, nuts, and handcrafted goods. People gather to share stories of past years, to laugh, to remember, and to hope. Children watch closely, absorbing lessons about community, generosity, and tradition. Even meals are festive. Families come together, sharing foods that are richer than usual, flavoured with herbs and spices saved for special occasions. Children savour each bite, learning the subtle pleasures of taste, aroma, and conversation. These feasts nourish both body and soul, leaving lasting impressions of abundance and care. As the day wears on, the energy gradually softens. Candles burn low, music fades into gentle hums, and children grow sleepy from excitement and activity. They lie down to rest in the warm comfort of home, still carrying laughter in their hearts and the memory of celebration in their minds. Through festivals and faith, children learn the balance of life, work and play, responsibility and joy, struggle and wonder. They see that hardship is tempered with moments of beauty, and that even in a life of labour, there are spaces for imagination, connection, and hope. As night falls, stars twinkle over the village, and children drift into sleep cradled by the sounds, smells, and memories of the day. They dream of stories, songs, and festivals, holding in their hearts the quiet understanding that life, even in the past, is layered with challenge and delight, sorrow and celebration, work and wonder. Family responsibilities. As the days pass, children grow into their roles within the family. Childhood here is inseparable from responsibility. Each member, no matter how small, has tasks that contribute to the household, and every action matters. Younger siblings learn to help their elders. They fetch water, gather firewood, sweep floors, or assist in preparing meals. Even these small tasks carry significance, as every act of care supports the survival and well-being of the family. The lessons of attention, patience, and diligence are absorbed quietly, woven into daily movements. Older children bear heavier responsibilities. They care for younger siblings, watch over the household, and sometimes manage small tasks in the fields or workshops. They learn not only practical skills, but also the subtleties of human interaction, patience, empathy, and guidance. Every glance, gesture, and word teaches them how to lead, support, and nurture. Meals are a central part of family life. Children help gather ingredients, prepare food, and serve it. They see the balance between scarcity and abundance, learning to appreciate what is available and to make the most of it. Even small contributions like fetching herbs or tending a fire are acts of care that bind the family together. The rhythms of daily life create a structure that guides children. Sunrise marks the beginning of labour. Midday brings brief moments to rest or eat. Evening signals a return to home and hearth. Within this rhythm, children learn timing, coordination, and responsibility. Their work is intertwined with their identity. Helping the family becomes a natural part of who they are. Discipline is also a lesson. Mistakes are corrected gently or firmly, teaching children to focus, listen, and learn from experience. Through repetition, observation, and guidance, they develop both skill and character. Even moments of play are influenced by responsibility. Games often mimic chores, practice skills, or test coordination. Through playful learning, children refine their abilities while enjoying brief escapes from the demands of the day. The balance of work and imagination nurtures resilience and adaptability. Nighttime brings reflection. Children lie in straw beds, bodies tired from tasks and chores, minds occupied with memories of the day. They think of what they have accomplished, what they have learned, and what tomorrow will require. Family responsibilities are a constant, shaping their growth, their understanding of the world, and their sense of self. The quiet moments of connection, a whispered word, a hand held, a shared smile, remind them that responsibility is not only work but also care, love, and commitment. Even small children learn the importance of reliability, kindness, and contribution. Through these daily duties, children develop strength of body, awareness of their surroundings, and emotional resilience. They understand that their actions affect others, that cooperation is essential, and that even the smallest hand can make a difference. As stars appear in the night sky, the village becomes still. Children rest with the knowledge of their contributions, the satisfaction of having helped, and the understanding that life is a delicate balance of care, effort, and connection. Even in a childhood filled with labour, they carry the quiet joy of being needed, valued, and part of something larger than themselves, reflection. At night falls gently over the village, and a calm silence settles among the small homes. The day's work has ended, the chores completed, and the animals safely tended. Children, their bodies tired from labour, climb into straw beds or wooden cots, nestling close to siblings or parents for warmth and comfort. The village is quiet except for the soft rustle of wind through trees, the distant lowing of cows, and the occasional creak of a door swinging in the evening breeze. These sounds, gentle and rhythmic, guide the children into a slower pace, encouraging their minds to wander and their bodies to relax. As they lie still, their thoughts drift through the day. They remember the morning chores, carrying water, sweeping floors, tending animals. They recall the lessons learned in the fields, at home, and in the small workshops where they have begun apprenticeships. They think of the small victories, the successes in chores well done, and the laughter shared in brief moments of play. Childhood here is different from what we often imagine. It is not filled with toys or carefree hours, but with responsibility, observation, and quiet resilience. Yet even within this labour-filled life, there are joys, small, fleeting, and precious. The warmth of family, the laughter of friends, the curiosity sparked by stories and songs, all linger softly in the children's hearts. The night brings a sense of reflection. They think of what they have learned, how to care for others, how to work diligently, how to find small joys amid toil. They understand that each day shapes them, moulding their bodies, minds, and hearts. Even mistakes become lessons, guiding them toward greater skill and awareness. Outside, the stars twinkle silently, distant yet familiar. The moon casts a soft silver glow on rooftops, fields, and the winding paths of the village. It illuminates the quiet courage of children who grow stronger each day, who face challenges with patience and curiosity, and who find wonder in the world around them. As they close their eyes, their imaginations carry them on gentle journeys. Perhaps they dream of festivals, music, and dance. Perhaps they wander through fields and forests, discovering small details that escape notice in waking life. Even dreams are shaped by experience, blending the lessons of the day with the quiet hopes of youth. The children breathe slowly, bodies sinking into the soft straw, minds easing into calm. The rhythm of the village, the warmth of family, the lingering sense of earth, smoke, and herbs all create a cocoon of security and comfort. In this cocoon, they rest, recover, and grow, carrying the strength, resilience, and quiet wisdom of a life lived fully, even in childhood. Though life is harsh, the night reminds them, and us, that growth, love, and wonder persist. The hardships of the day are softened by reflection, imagination, and the small, enduring joys that make life human. And so, the children sleep, tucked into the quiet embrace of the village night. Their hearts are full, their bodies at rest, and there's a